I feel like networking is such a simple topic, but it's very much taken for granted. People say, oh yeah, I know I gotta network, I know I gotta do this, I know I gotta do that. But they don't actually spend the time to do it, and they don't necessarily do it the right way.
What's up guys, it's Matt from AverageDudeTV here with an old friend, Rob. We went to high school together, we were in a lot of business classes together, and this kid has been hustling since a very early age, similar to myself, but at a different level. And today we're going to be discussing networking, tips for networking, the value of networking, and kind of just why it's important for everyone regardless of your industry, but especially in the business world, of course. So do you want to just give like a little bit of overview about yourself?
Yeah, so basically like Matt said, I went to school with Matt freaking years ago. A lot of business classes, and basically I've just been involved in a lot of entrepreneurial projects ever since I was in high school. Just trying to do things to better myself, better my network, be able just to meet new people and have new opportunities exposed to me that wouldn't have been if I didn't kind of reach out and go after them. Nothing's gonna come to you when you're sitting on your ass doing nothing. You got to go out and make it happen. Nobody's gonna do anything for you in this world. So,
all right, cool. So I guess we should just start in the beginning, which is just kind of how does somebody start networking? I know we started networking when we were in like 9th or 10th grade. We started doing events with the school, and that was kind of like the gateway into it. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Gateway into learning the process. So, networking itself is so simple, okay? You go, hi, my name's Robert. What was your name again?
Matt. That's
Matt. Okay, perfect. And you just get a conversation started with people, and the key behind it is just learn. Be exposed to what somebody else has to say. Get involved, in conversation. Figure out where you have things in common, areas of interest, or just anything that you feel is important about yourself that you would want to kind of go out and share. You could really start at any level. I would say even if you're, high school or, just get involved within your local community. I mean, especially like for us, it was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because we had so many different programs and things that were going on. But if you take that aside for like a regular high school student, then I would say just still starting at that same level, whether it be coaches, adults, people in the area who who have different positions, okay, different jobs, things that they do. Learn more about that. Your friends' parents.
Yeah. Who
do you know that's a CEO, okay? Everybody's got a parent, everybody knows somebody. So you just kind of want to just build on that Rolodex and, and get to know more and more people. I know I've been fairly active with different chamber events, which is so super important and really cheap. Especially if you're a small business of any kind. So it's like less than $200 for the year, and you get to go to all the different meetings and just meet people. And that's really the goal behind it. And one thing that you realize is as you get to meet more people, over time, you'll see that opportunities will just kind of just happen, Things will come your way because of just by knowing people.
Definitely. And
it really just builds on itself.
So I mean, personally, my kind of first experience was in AOF, which basically we're involved in a 3-year business program at our high school called the Academy of Finance. And Rob and I both were, members on the board, and it's full of, business people in the local community and also just, the general area. And that was like my first experience with, meeting those people, getting those connections. And it's great to meet them, but add them on LinkedIn, get their card, and a lot of people are like nervous or whatnot to ask for a card or to give their card out, and you can meet whoever you want, but if they, don't have something that says who you are to remind them, it's almost a waste.
But that's actually such an important part that a lot of people don't realize, that when you're showing your business cards, a lot of people in high school and even college, they don't have their own business card. I don't care what you do, I don't care what you put on that card, you should have a card, something that you could physically hand out to somebody so that they remember you. Because if you go, you shake somebody's hand, when I get back, you know, from a networking event, I just literally, I archive all of the business cards that I've collected, and I keep those. So whatever my purposes are that I'm going to use them for in the future, I keep those. So if you're not actually giving out a business card to somebody, they're not actually going to save your information. They're going to be like, oh yeah, they're going to shake your hand. It's like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
They're not going to remember who you are. So even if you just put, you know, aspiring entrepreneur, anything that's creative and appropriate that you can think of with just some basic information is important just to physically have. You don't need like a fancy picture. You can go to Staples for like $10 and get business cards. It's not expensive at all. So there's no excuse as to why you shouldn't have one. A tool that I used for trying to, you know, find events that were, you know, outside the realm of stuff that, you know, was offered by school and friends and colleagues and stuff like that is just meetup.com. We'll like put it over the screen, meetup.com. And you just go there, you type in anything, you know, if you're a musician, just type in music. A bunch of events will come up in your local area related to music. I mean, the next step for me, after you know, you meet them, you network, you exchange cards, you go home, and then, you know, most of the people, you're not gonna need their information right away. You're not gonna need their assistance right away. It's a long-term thing. So usually the first thing that I do, I'm not sure if you do it, is I have a LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn and you're in business or really, quite frankly, anything, you should have one. Especially business. It's just a business social network, and I go on LinkedIn, and 99.9% chance that the person has a LinkedIn. You type in their name, you add them, and even if you don't need to use them for 5, 10, whatever amount of years, you have them in your network to always go back to, in addition to obviously keeping their business card. Nowadays, in my opinion, people have to be a lot more entrepreneurial just in general, whether you're looking for a career, like a 9-to-5 job, or you want to be an entrepreneur or not. It's still so important that no matter what your goal is in life, you have to network. And you have to use LinkedIn, because nowadays, even if you're going on to try to apply for a position or something, and I even get this all the time, you'll get like 500-600 resumes, you know, for one position. You got one person you're trying to hire. You have to stand out from the competition. Right? So no matter what you're doing, you're still competing with everybody else around you, whether you realize it or not. Something like LinkedIn is such a basic thing that somebody is going to want to look for that, you know, you can't ignore it. I feel like networking is such a simple topic, but it's very much taken for granted. People say, oh yeah, I know I got to network. I know I got to do this. I know I got to do that. But they don't actually spend the time to do it. And they don't necessarily do it the right way. So it took a couple of years before I really felt like, you know, opportunities started to come to me because of the relationships that I had and that I was able to build from a client point of view, but also from a personal point of view. A networking mistake that I hear from a decent amount of people is that, you know, obviously when you're in high school and college, a lot of your networking is because you want a job or an internship. And that would probably, I would say, make up 90 to 95% of networking. And a lot of people, you know, they make these connections, they meet with the recruiter or not a recruiter, just somebody at the company, and they aren't exactly sure how to go about trying to weasel their way into an internship without saying like, hey, can I have an internship? And like, that's something, I mean, obviously if you're dealing with recruiters, that might be a little bit different. That's their job. That's what they're looking for. But if you're dealing with somebody that's not a recruiter, 90% of people that I know that have internships are because they know somebody, whether it's a friend of their parents, whether it's a friend of their cousin, whether it's a friend of somebody that they've never even met, right? What you have to do is go about it in a way where you're not asking for anything. When you ask for it, you usually receive nothing. What you have to do is reach out to these people and say, hey, can I meet with you? You know, hey, would you be interested in giving me advice? And you don't want to like ask these people for anything. You want to kind of ask like, what can I do for you? You want to see where your interests align. Yeah, you want to just like get to know these people. You don't really want to just be like, hey man, I heard that you're hiring, right? Because you know how many messages, especially when you're talking about like executives, you know, COO, CEO, they get messages all day long from people. Hey, you hiring? Hey, are you hiring? And that's not what they want to hear. What stands out is, hey, would you be interested in meeting me for a cup of coffee so I could ask you a couple questions about your company? Be open, you know, don't be shy, don't be nervous. Reach out to different people who may have different opinions than you, which, you know, today is like the end of the universe, right?
Yeah.
You can talk to somebody who has a different opinion than what you have to say.
If you don't know where to begin, and say you're you're a college student, right? Maybe a good place to start is just reach out to people from high school. Over the past week, I think Matt and I have met with, including Rob, maybe 4 people from high school, 3 people from high school, even if you weren't necessarily best friends with them. Basically, if you're an A player and you want to be on top of your game, you need to find other A players. That's the only way to win. If you have anyone that is below, you know, what you are on your team, it'll bring everybody else down, and you will not win. Reach out to people, even if you weren't necessarily best friends with them or even friends with them, or even if you didn't even say hi in the hallway when you walk past them. You see they're doing something cool. Hey, that guy's doing some cool shit. Reach out to him, say, hey, you know, would you mind catching up? I'd love to hear, you know, what you're working on.
Yeah.
Right? And you do that, and you start talking to them. Maybe you could get involved with what they're doing. Or if nothing happens, you talk to them, and now, you know, you have an active line of communication that you can reach out to them for whatever reason.
And you learn something.
Yeah.
And you learn something, yeah.
Absolutely. Again, be open-minded. Just meet new people, and you'd be surprised where you could end up.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Make a LinkedIn. Make a business card. Go out of your comfort zone and go to events.
Put yourself out there. You know, just be open-minded. Just meet people and just see where things go, because no matter how much you plan in life, it doesn't work that way. Life just happens. So meet people. Be exposed to new things. Like I said all day, because it's so true. Be open-minded. Meet people and just expand your horizon, and you'd be surprised where you end up.
Hopefully this video was very informative and educational and taught you guys everything you need to know from A to Z how to network. All you need to do is go out there and do it today. Don't put it off to tomorrow. Go on meetup.com right now, sign up for one event, and comment down below. We appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below. And follow us on Instagram at AverageDudeTV. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, right. Whether you love it or hate it, leave a comment. Might as well. You got something to say? Say it.